Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys Predator Clan Leader. This deluxe Predator figure comes with bendable tentacles and is recommended for ages 17 and up. Not only are you getting the Predator, but I might also add you're getting a pretty substantial sized box as well. One of their bigger ones. This comes to us from their Kenner themed line of Predator figures, which I'm always a big fan of. Some nice artwork featured on the top there. I can't 100% tell you if that's the original artwork that was used from the Kenner packaging, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. The back of the box shows you some, again, Kenner inspired artwork on the back there. It has actually a good range of different figures available. First, a read-up, if I may, just a read-up. The stage is set for the ultimate battle between the universe's two most ferocious enemies. It's the gruesome aliens against the big game hunting predator. Who will win, the beast or the hunter? Can the predator stop the evil aliens before the galaxy is destroyed? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. Figures available is the Aliens vs. Predator 2-pack, which we've already looked at on this channel. Lieutenant Ripley, a facehugger, Queen facehugger to be exact, a Warrior Alien, Mantis Alien, and Gorilla Alien. Then from the Predator line, there's Cracked Tusk Predator, Scavenge Predator, Spiked Tail Predator, Stalker Predator, and Clan Leader Predator. Down below that shows you how to put the mask on, as well as shows you how to put the weapons on the figure and the bendable tentacles. All of which really cool, and looking forward to getting this guy opened up. www.necaonline.com, a destination that you can head to if you're a fan of NECA products. Check out some really cool properties that they're currently doing. And finally, just before we open up this bad boy, the interior has not only the Clan Leader on the one side, but some nice artwork on the other side, as well as a read-up. The Supreme Leader of the Yuja Prime, also known as the Grand Elder Clan Leader, has ruled for centuries and is proven to be the wisest and strongest leader among all elders. His superior hunting record, fighting skill, and great cunning are legendary, earning him the highest position in Yuja society. Assassination attempts and tribal uprisings are commonplace for Clan Leader, but he has proven to be an invulnerable force, earning the respect of the people and striking fear into those who oppose him. He is rarely seen by his subjects, and stories have grown from what little is known of him. He is said to be immortal, possessing abnormal strength and abilities, and many believe that his mechanical tendrils are sentient beings under his divine control. These tales have yet to be disproven. Check out, by the way, this really cool throne chair. Don't know if something like that would be available, but I would definitely get my hands all over that if that be the case. That would be packaging in a nutshell. Spot's going to take a break, though, and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Deluxe Predator Leader, the Predator Clan Leader. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. All right, so now that we've got the Clan Leader out of packaging, let's get a better look at the figure. Now, one thing, interestingly enough, not interestingly enough, I suppose, but it looks like his feet have been put on the wrong way. You can see that the larger toes are facing outward as opposed to facing inward. And also if you face it upside down, clearly it looks like the curve of the foot is facing outward. Perhaps a little bit of QC issues, but we're going to just do our best to take the figure off. Let's see if we can actually get it off the pegs here. I might actually just take a break. Hold on one second. Well, it would appear the more stress I add to these, it doesn't feel as if they're popping out easily enough. Yeah, I'm probably just going to leave it be, and maybe might just take some hot water or something like that to try to soften up the joint later. Interesting though how the feet looks as if they have been put on incorrectly. A small thing. At least it's swappable feet, and it's not the simple case of where I got two of the same foot. This is fixable. I'm just going to take a little bit of hot water though and look at that later. All right, so let's have a look at the Clan Leader here in all his glory, despite the fact that his feet are put on the wrong way. Really have to admit, I do like this figure a lot. The coloring, I think, certainly is more than what think draws me to these. And one more reasons why I think I move a little closer towards picking up the Kenner themed Predators than I do like the regular Predators. The regular Predators, don't get me wrong, are good figures, but countless times you get so many of the same looking Predators. It's where the Kenner stuff really, I think, starts shining. In this case, you got the clan leader who's got all this additional bright coloring added to him, something that you don't see with a lot of Predators. For example, his face is a vibrant yellow and orange combination, with the scarring actually added to the crown of his head. The eyes are in there. I mean, they're a piercing red coloring. It's probably almost a little harder to make out. Very familiar traits to the clan leader, don't get me wrong, but certainly by slathering it with a new coat of paint, in this case the yellows, the reds, the oranges, and a little bit of that brown, which carries also down here as well, it really showcases this figure quite nicely. It's interesting though, like so much of this figure needs correcting. Even like the torso I noticed is on the not quite leveled up. There we go. Yeah, just overall, I quite like the coloring of this guy. The white dreads as opposed to the trademark black dreads that we see so very familiar with other Predator releases. Done very nicely here on this figure. As you can probably see, he has a ton of different accessories, one of which being his plasma caster, his shoulder cannon, essentially. And there's a little hinge, there's a little notch right there. And there's a tab on the end, so you just line it up. Line up the two here. Plug that into place. Now this here is also adjustable as well. So you've got a hinge in two spots, and then you've got the peg, the ball joint at the top, where you can take the gun, or cannon, if you will, and just plug that into place. And now you've got that on the very side. It's interesting how far ahead that cannon sticks out from his shoulder. Normally it's a little bit further back on the Predators, but I guess he makes his presence very well known with the level of weapons that this guy's going to be capable of wielding. And I guess it's pretty cool that he has that cannon sticking out as far as he does. He's a very armored up Predator as well. The gauntlets are something you see quite frequently, but maybe not to the extreme that this is. It's almost got the same thickness and the same sort of shape that you would normally find on the back. Instead, here featured now on the actual gauntlet portion. Instead, what you get is almost like a spinal. It looks like a giant insect on the back of his main torso armor. And all the coloring on this, it's this kind of greenish, hard to pinpoint a color. It's almost like a metallic teal mixed with some silvers, some blacks. Really showcases this figure quite nicely. Now, it's also a Kenner release, so you're going to be getting an interchangeable mask. This kind of looks like more like a dog, actually. It kind of looks like the Klingon dogs from the prison colony where Kirk and McCoy get sent to in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. How's that for a reference point? It actually kind of looks also like a brood from X-Men. It's got a mechanical, insect look quality to it that I quite like. And you can take that, and it's just friction applied to the face of the Predator. So just sandwich it in place, and right off the bat, it stays. It's not going anywhere. It actually kind of looks like Donnie Darko's, the rabbit from Donnie Darko as well. Very, very nice. Then, of course, some of the other things that he has, the main draw appeal to this figure is the Tendrils. And the Tendrils are super cool. It looks like something you would see from Matrix. They are wire framed, so if we just get the figure to stand here and hopefully get him to stand properly. The tendrils bend very, very easily in multiple points, as essentially like the whole tendril is one wire frame. And you can bend it to your heart's content, really. These also, I thought these untab, but I guess they don't. He does have these, and I'm actually trying to figure out what these are for. They're clips, not unless they clip to the end. Maybe they clip onto the end here. I don't really know. The instructions, and there are no instructions, there's nothing to indicate necessarily what these are. So I honestly have no idea what these are that come included with Clan Leader. Nonetheless, though, you can take the Tendrils and they just plug right into place. You kind of have to look at the shape of them, because the shape is not quite a complete circle. And it just plugs right into place like that. And these extend straight out from his mask, which is an interesting place to have things like tendrils coming out from a predator. Very, very cool. Not something I would be used to seeing from a predator figure, but very, very interesting nonetheless. Now what you can also do too is you can take the same tendrils, unplug them, and he's got the socket areas located on the side gauntlets as well. So if you want to rather have him wielding the tendrils from his wrist, he can do that. Or again, you can have it defaulting coming out from the right underneath. It's basically in the shoulder sections of the armor. And we'll just take those off for the time being because they're going to take up so much of this review. I'm just going to move them to the side for a second and then we'll revisit them. I still don't know again what these are for. I'm looking around on the figure. I don't see a section where these necessarily clip into place. I don't think that they would go simply into here because it doesn't really... Oh, maybe it does make sense. It does plug into place. I just don't know why it plugs into place necessarily. Unless there may be like spikes or something that shoots out from the gauntlet here. Because, I mean, they do sit in there. Unless it's supposed to be the very tip of an extended blade. The blades don't simply come out, but it gives you the indication that the blades would be sitting in there. That's the closest thing I can think of. Again, there are no instructions to indicate what necessarily those are. Finally, the last thing that comes with the Clan Leader is this super cool, long, double-bladed kind of staff, if you will. One large blade, I would imagine, just for like slashing anyone that opposes him, and the other end for impaling. The coloring matches the same to his armor, so it's kind of this teal blue color with the silver, and you can take it and fit it into his hand. Now, the hands are, I might add, very, very stiff on this figure, so getting it into his hand is a recipe for extreme patience, and just, again, a little bit of applying and manipulating to get that finally into his hand. And just get his thumb around it. There we go. And you can have him holding his staff, which is probably a look I'm going to prefer to have him displayed with anyways. And then maybe I'll find the means to accommodate getting the tendrils in place. Or what I might do is just have maybe one tendril extending out from his gauntlet and keeping the other off completely. Then when it comes to, let's take the staff out of his hand for all the fighting I did to get it into his hand. There we go. We'll put that to the side. In the way of his posability, it's basically what you would expect from a normal predator here, just adorned in this awesome coloring. So the Elder Predator does have a ball joint in the head, of course being careful not, of course, to pop the helmet off, and also being careful not to pop the actual cannon off in the process. Let's just peg that back into place. There we go. Shoulders hinge out, as well as a forward and back motion. He has a swivel in the bicep portion, a double hinged elbow, rotation also all the way on the hand, upper torso ball joint, lower torso ball joint, a ball joint appearing to be in the legs. As you can see also, you can split the legs fairly easy, as the side panels of his armor skirt seem to do a good job of going with the flow and rather not obstructing the motion in his legs. He's got a double hinge in the knee. Rather interesting place too, where they hinge the knee. Right there. There's a second hinge at the top and the hinge down below. It's almost not even in the place where his knee would be. His knee would be further down, yet the joint is further up. Finally, then, there's a ball joint in the feet. For normal reasons, I could easily get the feet off, but for some reason, I struggled a little bit getting the feet off here, so I could switch them back around. Not really much in the way of nitpicks for this figure, other than just QC issues. I wish that the feet were appropriately in the right place. Other than that, though, I quite like this figure. Normally when it comes to the Elder, not in the Elder case, but normally in cases of the, get that all the way around, in normal cases of like the Kenner themed figures, I generally display them with the masks. When it comes to some of the other figures like the other NECA figures, the Predator figures, I might sometimes keep them with the masks off, depending again which ones actually came with removable masks, which ones do not. A lot of times it's more so the Kenners that come with the removable masks, and all the more reason I keep these on display with these, because it's super, super cool. Does the Elder Predator look with the, well, I say Elder Predator, the clan leader here looks with the helmet in place. Final thoughts overall, I like the figure. I like the tendrils that you can also include to the figure torso. And even though it's a little on the bulky side, I have to admit, and cumbersome by having him displayed with the tendrils, I do think it's a neat looking display. It's something you don't normally get with a lot of the Predators. So for example, the clan leader who has it, I don't know, I might maybe find the means to try to accommodate this to the figure. Maybe if I can bend the tendrils up and maybe have them going in different ways, it might be an interesting enough look and a way. Maybe it's something I could experiment with and try to find the means to keep it on display with the clan leader. Today's Toy Spot, what a fantastic looking figure. Despite the fact that some of the QC issues with the feet, I mean, that's a small thing. That's something I could easily fix up. That's not going to bother me too much. But what I ended up getting, though, was a really cool looking Predator. And of the Kenner stuff, of the Kenner themed figures, this might be one of my favorites. Today we were looking at the Deluxe Predator Clan Leader. I know I've called Predator a couple times, but the Clan Leader from the folks over at NECA Toys. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you next time.